Welcome everybody to week 4 reactions to the Premier League this week. A lot of great things happen here, a lot of surprises happen, and a lot of people sold their soul to some devil to get some answers completely right. Jerk, should have gone to Vegas or something. But anyways, we'll get some more of that this week. Thank you guys so very much for joining us to another reaction video. I still this week have my dearest and nearest friend here, Matt. Matt, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing okay.
I like to hear that.
Definitely could be better. There's been some not favorable results, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Yes, I am with you. I feel like I have been cut a little bit by a knife, but that's okay. Like I said, we are Premier League. We aren't just a Chelsea Newcastle Newcastle video, so we'll go with that. So but thank you, Matt. Thank you for being here again. All right, let's get on to the first games this week. Southampton Man U was the first game that we're going to get to. It was a snoozer bruiser 1-0 win to Man U. What do you feel about that, Matt? Because you had it as 2-0.
I think they played well enough to win, but they weren't ultimately very convincing. Southampton, I think, actually showed some fight and showed that they might not be a relegation side this year. And I think they put up a lot of shots, almost as many on target as United. But in the end, it came down to finishing and goalkeeping, which surprisingly, De Gea kept a clean sheet. I think this is their first clean sheet all year.
It really is. Yeah, definitely was. So you had it as 2-0. I had it as 2-1 Southampton. We both had it a winner, so we both get at least 1 point for that. Ching ching, there it is. Also, I don't know if you heard this, which I was surprised about. Man, you pick up a goalie this week. Right before the trade deadline, yes. I'll probably talk about more about it in the week 5 because it kind of happened in week 5. But our goalie in Newcastle, our backup goalie, they picked up
Dubravka,
yeah. So which was kind of funny. But like I said, we'll pick that up more than that. But yeah, I had to bring that in because I actually had it in my notes. So I was like, don't forget. But yeah, that's a good one, Matt. Nice job. We both get 1 point. Congrats. There it goes. Nice job. Next game in line. Next game in line. Chelsea versus Leicester City. Chelsea wins 2-1 and gets a red card in the 69th minute. Nice. Go ahead there.
So, yeah, I was watching this game. Gallagher got the red. It was the second yellow, 28th minute. I understand where the yellow is coming from. He sort of clipped the guy, and he was technically the last man back. He should have really not made the challenge, but the team rallied, and they played well despite all of that, and a little bit of Raheem Sterling magic. I would like to say that in my predictions, I predicted he would score his first goal for Chelsea this game, which he did. And first of many, because he scored another one just 16 minutes later. The first one was a beautiful goal, though.
Yes. Yeah.
Curled it up into the top corner over everybody, and just some bit of magic there, which was great.
It was definitely. I saw it. I saw the highlights of the game. Very beautiful. Chelsea, after getting a I'm sorry. My prediction was 2-0, so we both get a point on that one, of course. I did see the red card, and I was like, oh no, is this going to be the moment? Young kid comes off, but the team rallied behind it, was able to get the 2 goals they needed, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised Leicester didn't have any fight left in them on it, but
well, they took one back after the second one, but it was kind of too late at that point.
It was.
There were a few very close chances right at the very end of the game, but they held on.
I honestly didn't see any fight when, at least in the highlights I was watching. I didn't see any fight from Leicester at all. It was all Chelsea.
they seem to be really struggling to find their energy. They did have the majority of possession, which I understand like will probably happen most of the time if you have an extra player on the field. But
Exactly.
yeah, it's just, well, I mean, we'll get to their week 5 match later when
Yeah.
we get to that video, but yeah, they're gonna need some help this year because they're in last and they really need to figure out where they're going. I think they have a lot of players who can play.
Yep.
Barnes is really good. Obviously, like Vardy and Madison are very good. James Justin I like a lot. Evans has been very solid in defense. They're just missing like a little bit to push them over the edge, I think, and they hopefully can figure it out in the coming months, because you don't want to start that far back of everyone and be fighting to survive.
Yeah, I agree. It was rough watching that game. I think within the next couple weeks, if I would say honestly, if they lose their next 2 games, and we're doing this after week 5, so I'm talking week 6 and week 7.
So 6 they play Brighton.
Yeah, if they lose,
and 7 they play Villa.
So if they lose both games, or if they don't come out with 3 points in both games, like 3 and 3 in both wins, I'm saying coach loses his job. Sorry, there's no way that they're gonna allow that to happen. There's no way, you know.
Yep.
I just don't see it. I'm sorry, I just don't see it.
He's been there for a long time, Rodgers, right?
Yep.
And we'll talk about another sacking later, but
yes, for sure.
Yeah, like something's up in the end. I think they should pick up at least 3 points out of the 2 games combined.
Yeah.
But if they draw both games,
yeah, it's over.
It's not completely lost. It's still not good, but if they come out of both those games without a loss in either, I think that's actually like somewhat positive.
Yep. I think as long as they start showing some fight against some teams they should be at least fighting with. I think
they should have beat Southampton too.
I know. But what are we gonna do? We
due.
digress. Exactly. Move on to the next game. Brighton versus Leeds. You get a point on this one.
I correctly predicted it.
Dang it. You didn't get it exactly right, but
no, we were both pretty far off. We thought there would be a lot of goals, and there was only 1.
Actually, you thought there was going to be a lot of goals. I said there was only be 2-1, but I guess you're right on that. That one's fine.
That's 3 goals.
Yeah. Still, I don't care. Still lost. Boo. But no, I went Team America. I thought Team America would be able to pull it off, but you know that's what I get for being a little biased again, a little biased buddy. That's what I get. But yeah, you chose 3-2. How'd you see the game?
I didn't see too much of it.
Okay.
Brighton did not have the majority of possession. Leeds controlled a lot of the ball, but the chances look to be pretty similar. With Brighton getting more on target and more total, but they were able to find the one that went in, and Pascal Gross notched another one. So I think
it was like 16.
Brighton is set up pretty well. As of this game, I believe they were in the top 3 as of week 4. Things might have changed by week 5, but we will get to that later.
Yep.
I think they're poised for a very solid season. They have a lot to be proud of, and if they continue to play with this mentality and energy, then they could do really well.
For me, when we do check the prediction video again, I am getting it spot on with Brighton. Exactly right. I had said Brighton's going to go a hot start again, like they did last year, and then they will fizzle out because that is what they do. So they have done my first set of predictions. Let's see what they do in the second set. But yes, I was very shocked. I am proud of Leeds though. That game they did well. Honestly, they did. They played well against them. They came out fought. I think maybe they were being almost a little bit too passive, or kind of too much, because they had 58% of the possession on that game, and they were able to like hold on, and the passes were pretty good. But out of that, they only got 2 shots on net, and that was it. So I'm almost thinking they were told to, hey guys, keep going out there, don't shoot shots unless they're high percentage shots. And I think that's what cost them. I think Brighton had a good defense though. They played very well, and especially in front of that crowd. That crowd is really starting to love them. I remember 3 years ago watching a Brighton game. There'd be 15 people in the stands, near the end of the year. So I do think there's a lot of hype in Brighton now, and I think because of that, that's good. But I don't know how much they're going to last in the winter season. I still say they're going to start slipping on a little bit. But this one, I'll give them credit. I was wrong. Team America came out and it didn't do well, and that's okay. It's okay. America doesn't have to win every time. It's fine. But
yeah, it's one of those things, right? Or like if a team comes out with a very defensive formation,
yeah,
and you play a very attacking style,
yep,
it's going to be hard to break them down, and that's kind of what happened. Yep. Leeds had a lot of passes, a lot of possession, but they just couldn't get in and get the chances. But they should not be that ashamed. They only allowed 1 goal, yeah. And the season is young. I think though about Brighton, there isn't a lot of room to go up. So naturally, I think their position will fall a little bit from top 5.
Yeah, I agree. Okay,
once they play the Man Cities and people, yes.
Speaking of Man City, we'll move on to the Man City Crystal Palace game in Week 4. Wow.
Wild game.
Wowie, wow, woo here. Holy guacamole. If anybody had any doubts about Haaland, hat trick. Wow. And again, he scores quick. Like, as soon as he scores, you guys need to be tackling him, because he is way too good to get back out. As soon as he scores, I don't know what's in him. It's like, ooh, I scored. It's like spinach to him. He just right up. But yeah, the score was 4-2. You had it as a 2-0 win to Man City. Go ahead. How are you feeling?
So, I was following this game kind of as it was happening, but I was watching the Chelsea game.
Yep.
And I heard, oh, it's like, almost halftime and Crystal Palace lead 2-0. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And they came out very brightly. They put a lot of pressure. They were very positive. They got an own goal for the first goal and a very nice goal off of a set piece, I believe.
Yes.
From one of them.
Anderson.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the thing is, City are a team that is very good at coming from 2-goal deficits, apparently, because they did it again. They did it last week. They did it this week.
Goes back to me.
They did it against West Ham last year.
Yeah. They did it on the last day of the year too. I know I'm rejecting, but the last day of the year. Yep. Go ahead.
That's the most dangerous position for them, is down 2 goals. Mm-hmm. Apparently 4 of their last 6 Premier League matches, going back to last year, they've been down by 2 goals. And I don't think they've lost any of them. They pass well, they press well, they had like triple the possession of Palace. They just wore them down, I think, by the end. And Bernardo Silva scored a goal, and then yes, Erling Haaland 3 in a row, the natural hat trick, as they like to say.
Yeah.
His first of many, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see what happens next week.
We'll see. I mean, we already did. Hold on. Again, we already did state this is after week 5 games because we didn't realize. Yeah, so we will get to the week 5 games, but yes,
he's scored some crazy number of hat tricks at the top level in all like leagues, and he's incredible. His movement off the ball, I will say, in just getting into dangerous spots in the box and shaking defenders is unreal.
Yeah.
And then of course the City team getting the ball to everywhere, you know.
Yeah. I took a wild card on this one. I said it was gonna be 2-2. Do you know how excited I was when the first 2 goals got in? I'm like, yes! And then all of a sudden they scored. I'm like, yes! And then they were like, score again, yes! And I was like, what are you doing, Erlen? No! And he ruined me.
Kept going.
He freaking ruined me on that one. So you get another point on that one. So congratulations. Yeah. Anybody honestly who even doubted Haaland. I mean, at the start of the season I didn't doubt Haaland. I knew how good he was. I think I said it in the prediction video that how good he was. But I will also say this. I am going to retract on what I said before. This kid is if you looked at the word Wunderkid in the dictionary, it has to be him, because he had a flaw when he was in Germany where he would not go for headers. I think it was 2 out of his 35 goals were headers. That was it. He already has, I believe it's 4 or 5 this season from headers, where they come in and he goes boop, and he's so tall and he's so physical and he's so quick, and you're like, what does he not have? Because if you try to go, okay, I'm going to get a tall guy. Usually tall guys are pretty lengthy, and they can keep up with the speed, but they don't have the strength like him. So he just pushes them around. If you go ahead and big boy, tall but big, oh, he's got speed. He'll just bolt by him. Good. If you go, okay, well, I'll get a big, tall, strengthy, we'll put 2 guys in the middle. Fine, we'll put 2 guys in the middle. He'll pass it out and then do like he did in this game where they were messing around, and Erlen, I don't know, I watched the replays over and over again. I'm like, he did this again against Newcastle. He did the same thing against Newcastle. He won't look around. He'll look at the ball, and he'll do this thing. And I've done this when I was playing NHL on the PlayStation 4 in the league. If you start getting really good at a game, what will happen is you won't even need to look at the ball. You're looking at your opponent the entire way, or you're looking somewhere else. You don't even need to know. You know where you got to be. And he had this thing where he just looked over, and he looked at the ball and went, okay. He took 2 steps back, and he was open in the middle, and then a header right in the net. I was like, dude, he didn't even look if the dude was behind him, but he's like, yeah, no, I know. I'm going to be open here. He did that 3 times this season, and I'm like, dude, you are amazing. So I honestly, I got to give it to him. He's definitely a wunderkid, and he's got a lot more years left in him. He's going to be one of the greatest goal scorers ever to play. So
yeah, I don't even know if you can call him a wunderkid anymore. I think he's 22. He's the real deal.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
It's incredible.
It's sad to say too that because he's so good, but usually wonder kids are 24 and younger, and he's already at the point where he's like, can he grow?
He's better than that.
Yeah, he's like, can he even get better? Yeah, that's the thing. He can get better. We'll have to see in his later years, though. I'll say in 24, 25, he's going to have to get more intelligent because his speed's gonna go down. Every striker has that problem. His speed goes down, but the smart strikers like Vardy starts going, okay, I don't have speed, but I'll have more intelligence. I'll work my feet. I'll work at the header. I'll find open spaces. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's where I think he's gonna go. But yeah, Man City did great. They are so dangerous. I swear,
terrifying.
If you let them have 1 goal, you might as well put 12. Either do this, put 11 back at the line, nobody moves types of things. Don't let them get anything in the middle, or you better be aggressive and go, 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 go. Because if you don't, they're on the counter going, yep, we're going. Harlan, where are you? Boom, and go. Because that's what they do. Both of the times that they were down by 2, they came back and scored 2 goals within that first 10 minutes. So great job. Nice job, Man City. Congratulations. Next game.
What a game.
Next game. Liverpool. Oh, God. Liverpool, Bournemouth. Oh, you had 4-1. I had 3-0. Go ahead.
So when we were talking about this game before, I said I almost had it at 5-0, but I thought maybe they don't have quite that much in them. We had that much and more. It's the City does this thing too, and Liverpool especially. Whenever they lose or are embarrassed or have a very poor result, like whoever they're playing next, they just come out and just batter them, and it's just like all of their pent-up frustration just goes into like annihilating like Fulham or somebody, right? It happened against like Norwich last year where City beat them like 6-0. And this is like tied for the highest scoring Premier League game
Yes.
in the last 30 years.
Yes.
I want to say shout out to my friend Matty. He was at this game. He's from Liverpool. He's a huge Liverpool guy.
Nice.
A dream game to go to for him.
Yes.
I'm very happy he got to see it. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say other than they dominated in every aspect of the game. They had 12 shots on target.
Yeah.
And 3 of those were saved. The rest were not. I guess
4.
there was an own goal.
There was an own goal. Yes.
Yeah, there was an own goal. But yeah, they played incredible. They didn't get to 10. Nobody in the Premier League era got to 10 before.
Yep.
Everybody got in. I want to say Firmino played especially well. He had an opportunity because Nunez is suspended from that red card.
Yep.
This is the second of 3, I believe, games suspended, and he had a couple very nice passes in to create, and he had 2 well taken goals. It's going to be interesting when they have to choose between the 2, because one of them they just spent a very large amount of cash on in the summer, and the other one has been very, very good in form, and we'll talk more about his form in the next game as well, because
Yes.
he's just continuing to do it. I want to say I predicted a Luis Diaz hat trick in this game. The own goal was passed off of him.
I know.
If that had been a goal, I would have been right.
Yep.
He had 2 instead of 3.
Yep.
Yeah, why don't you share your thoughts then?
So I saw the score. So I didn't want to watch the game because I didn't want to be an accessory to murder. So I just saw the highlights of the game. Incredible game. Incredible. Liverpool brought in a new guy that they just got in, and he amazing. He got a goal. Awesome. Biggest thing I will say about this game. Who is, and I gotta ask you, Matt, who is Liverpool's #1 striker?
That's what I was saying. It's been Firmino.
Yeah, but but it's Salah.
So he typically plays off on the wing, right? Like, but he scores. He's one of their best
the golden
scorers.
boot guy. He did in a 9-0 game. You don't get 1 goal, but he did get 2 assists.
Right.
Like,
and
even,
that's the interesting thing.
He
no goals.
No goals. Only 2 assists out of 8.
Chances.
Yeah.
He had one chance right in the box where he missed the net.
Yeah. He has. Oh my God. I don't know what they're doing to him, like where they're moving him that much, but it's almost like everybody's like, yeah, we need to hone in on him or something. I don't know, but yeah,
it might be they're double teaming him or something.
Oh my God, it is so funny to watch. I was watching and I'm like, okay, Salah's gonna get one of these. Nope. Okay, Salah's gonna get one of these. Nope. Salah's gonna get one of these. Nope. And it's funny because I'm looking at this, and if I'm right about it, I think they were up 3-0 at halftime, and all the rest of the goals were in the second half.
4. Or wait. Okay. Van Dijk scored the 5th, I think, right before halftime. in extra
1, 2,
time.
3, 4. Yeah, you're right.
It was
You're right.
Diaz,
Yep.
Elliott,
Okay, you're right.
Trent,
Yep.
Firmino.
Yep. You are correct. Also, big news on this, after this game too. Scott Parker, the coach for Bournemouth, got sacked.
It was very fast. It's
Yeah.
only been what, 4 games?
There was a reason though.
Their goal difference. They had allowed like 16 goals in 4 games, I think.
Yeah.
Which they just finished playing City, and like then Liverpool.
But there was
a couple weeks back, but
yeah, there was reasoning behind that. Jurgen was so mad after that game. If you see interviews about him, like he's just like, I don't know why. He's like, I don't know why they would fire him. It was unreasonable. It was mean. Like you need to stick with the people. Yes, we beat them, but I don't hold back.
Right?
Yeah, it's like give them a chance. Like because what would happen if we did 5, held back, and then all of a sudden they came back and beat us 6-5? We would look dumb. So I didn't want to do that. And but people are saying that sources of mine, which are actually pretty good sources, we're going to talk about that next week. Sources of mine stated that basically the locker room was broken. Scott Parker even said that. Not all of the locker room was divided, but it was weakened, like a weakened structure, and he had a bad relationship with the board because he told the board right offhand, if you guys would bring me better players, I could do better. If you guys would have given me better players, but he said after it, my players suck.
Yes.
And
well, he said in the post-game interview, like,
yeah,
this team is way better than my team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what's gonna happen. He's basically like very like defeatist and like,
yeah, totally,
yeah. They're better. They beat us, and this is like the deserved, like the difference in the quality of the squads.
Yep.
And maybe I think that might have led more to the sacking than the result.
That's exactly
just like
what happened.
The attitude of like,
I will agree.
Hey, like, my squad is not good enough. Like, I can't make them win these games because like I have nothing to work with, and who knows what their result might be in match day 5, but they have a new manager now.
Yeah. I will also say one thing that you brought up, that in the last 30 years, this is the first time that the highest score in the last 30 years is tied 9-0. The last 9-0, I believe, was last year.
Yes, it was.
So, there will be a 10-0, and I will say it will be.
Point City.
Oh God, no! I will say it's going to be. It'll be next year or year after, and I will say it's going to be Huddersfield. It's going to allow it.
Who loses it?
Yep.
Yeah,
they're going to come up. They're going to come up in the playoffs, and it won't be next year, but it'll be year after. They're going to come up. Either that or Barnsley. They're going to come up, and Barnsley is a good team, but Barnsley has the. I don't know if you ever heard about this, but it's called Moneyball. You heard that style?
Okay.
Okay, so basically what happens is you get you get these young players in, you play them, they play very well in your system, they play very well in your games, and everybody does really well, and then all of a sudden the Premier League team starts seeing them and go, oh, that's a great player, we'll buy them for you, and you bought them for $10,000, they will be turned around for like $100,000 or a couple million, and then you get money, and then you build up your program, you get better facilities, you get better blah blah blah. Problem with that is that's great if you're in a championship, but when you gotta spend money and you don't know how to spend money, they're gonna be like, oh, we'll just get the best young players. They're gonna get smoked, and it's gonna be one of the big games, and I'm gonna say that. So that's why I believe it's gonna be Huddersfield or it's gonna be Barnsley is the key. I'm leaning towards.
I could see it being like
though.
Reading or someone if they get up as well.
I don't think Reading would make it, but hey, we never made a video about the championship. We need to do that. All right. Anyways, we're too much on this game. All right. Next game, Brentford versus Everton. In that game.
Surprised.
You had Brentford winning 3-1. Wow, that's who would have done that?
Both teams scored at least one.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, the game went in, draw. Everton near the last minute got the goal. Go ahead.
Right. So Everton scored pretty early. The youngster, he's pretty young, Anthony Gordon.
Yeah.
He scored a very nice goal 24 minutes in. And basically Brentford were chasing the whole game.
Brentford, yeah, that's right. Yep.
They really struggled to break down Everton. They had a lot of possession. They had a lot of shots. Not so many on target as Everton. They just struggled to convert their chances until in the last 10 minutes of the game, they picked up their equalizer. Better to get a point than none. But yeah, this might be what Brentford struggles with throughout the year, is finding goals. Tony finally had a game where he didn't score. He's been pretty in form lately, but yeah, Everton defended well. Frank Lampard's group got a point. They may yet not go down. Who knows?
That was their second point of the season. At that time, second point of the season, and this was one of the games I watched actually. Because I was like, I don't know if I was bored or I was editing videos or whatever, but I was like, let me put it on some. Brentford played well. I know it doesn't look like it, but at home, the stadium was a rockin'. It did really well. I would say the only reason that the game was even like this was the goalies. Pickford,
right?
Wow, a couple of very good saves he had. I would even say he saved saves that when his defense screwed up. And he still saved those saves. Brentford 5 shots on target, and Everton 7 shots. What's that?
And 6 saves the other way. So
yep.
Pickford also picked up a yellow. I'm gonna guess it was time wasting. He's making a push to be the solidified England number 1. You think?
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, so good luck with that. It's not gonna happen. Newcastle has the number 1 goalie. Sorry guys. Newcastle's got the number 1 goalie. Okay.
I'm a big fan of Nick Pope.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't complain about that.
Yeah. No. But yeah. Good game. Very good game. I watched the end. I'm like, oh my god, please don't do this. Oh my god, please don't do this. Oh my god, please don't do this. And yes, that was it was a very, very high energy style game. A lot of play. Brentford tried their hearts out. Pickford saved. I didn't see a lot of fight out of Everton, but it was a good game. It was a good game overall, and I did enjoy it. It did give me the ability to kind of go, oh wow, I give Everton a little bit of credit. Scored early, and the energy kind of died off on that. Maybe the stadium was really pushing on them, but yeah, good job on Everton there. I do wish they would have been able to go ahead and lose that game, but they didn't. But I digress.
Both of our predictions were wrong then.
I know, I had 3-0. Yeah, shame on me. Next game, Arsenal versus Fulham. I had Arsenal 2-0. You had Arsenal 4-1. It was actually 2-1. Dang it. But my prediction didn't go. Not for this game. That was supposed to probably be the next game. I was thinking about it. Okay. Odegaard scored. Gabriel scored in this game, and then of course Mitrovic again scored during the game. But go ahead.
So we each got one of the team's amount of goals right, but we couldn't have put them together to get the right result. As much as I hate to say it, Arsenal are playing really well this year. They pass very well. They press very well. They're playing into their system very well. Gabriel Jesus is also just consistently playing well. He didn't score this game, but he's been a threat every single game he's played in. They had 8 shots on target, which means Leno, former Arsenal keeper, actually, denied them 7 times at the Emirates where he used to play. It's a nice storyline there. Mitrovic is still in form, but it was not enough. Actually, so Fulham led this game.
Yes, they did.
But Arsenal came back to tie it and win it. A late winner.
Yeah.
In this London derby.
Go ahead.
They had the vast majority of the chances, it looks like, and the possession, and it looks like the defense and Leno kept them in the game.
So in this game, Fulham came out strong. I would say if this game was 60 minutes long, Fulham would have won. Fulham played so well for 60 minutes. They played attack style football. They were out. They were in front. You could hear the crowds kind of like, come on, guys, get in there, come on. Fulham scores, and the crowd's like, holy crap, is this going to be our first loss against Fulham? This is so weird. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it was almost like it clicked. They just went in, and then all of a sudden, they just started getting chances. They went down, and it was the dumbest thing Fulham did. Was do that. They probably could have got a draw. It went 0-0. Because after that happened, Arsenal was like, let's go on an attack. And the minute they did that, they went counter, attack, boom, and they just a ton. And I would say if the stat line could show, I wish it could, how many shots were in from the second half after the 60-minute mark?
Way more.
It was so many chances, so many. They would they cross balls across. They got the balls in. They tapped it. The goalie made some good saves. Anyways, but it was all just so much energy, so much, and boom, boom, boom. And then after that second goal, the crowd was erupting because it was an amazing goal. The crowd erupted. You could tell the game's over. Fulham's not coming back after this. There's no way. The crowd's going to be the 12th man and not going to let this happen. Good game. Very good game. Fulham, keep your heads up on that. And learn how to play 90 minutes. That's all I'll say. Because
in an away game too. They did it without the support of the home fans. Which is
Yep. Good game. Arsenal again, another win. They are perfect on the season in first place. 4-0. Wow, that is just incredible. Starting off last season, they had the first 3 losses. The first 3 games were losses, and they came back and were like, look it. And we're good, and they've only allowed 4 goals the entire year, and one was against them. But yeah, wow, just wow, great job, Arsenal. I hope you guys continue. I mean, kinda, but I know
I'm not looking forward to the London derby between them and Chelsea. I don't even know when it is, and I don't want to.
Oh, I will. I'll be having my popcorn that day. This is gonna be great.
They can beat up on Spurs first. That game happens sooner, I think.
Good. Now we'll move on to the next game. Or shall we just move on to the game after? I think I don't know. Wolves.
We'll talk about it.
Wolves won. Newcastle won. You had Wolves won. Newcastle won.
Yeah, I did.
I gotta give you 3
Another
points
week
on that
of
one.
A perfect game predicted.
You're so good.
And if you remember, I predicted Wolves to score early-ish. This was in the 38th minute, so not quite as early. And just to defend their lead the entire game, which they did.
Yeah.
Until they allowed a late equalizer to Alain Saint-Maximin.
Yeah.
In the 90th minute. I believe it was in stoppage time.
Right before stoppage time.
Right before stoppage time.
It was actually it was like 89th minute. It was on a corner, but yeah, go ahead.
It went about how I expected. I think Wolves are a team that, if they can get a lead, they will not really press for more. They struggle to score goals, I think, at least for now, which we may talk about in the coming weeks. But they held with Newcastle. They held them for a long time and conceded right at the end. But I have a feeling that anyone who watches Newcastle games on the regular will feel that they should have scored more than a goal. And I'll let you elaborate on that.
Okay, I saw the game. I saw the entirety of the game. There must have been a blue moon that week or something. I will say this: Newcastle should not have scored more goals. I'm going to counter this. This is why. I will say for 70 minutes, Newcastle was just almost like it was a practice. They would kick the ball around, a couple of turnovers. They had Longstaff out there because Bruno was injured. Longstaff just kept turning over the ball. Wolves kept turning over the ball back. So all of this was just this like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And Wolves would get chances. The first 30 minutes I'm watching is going, oh my God, can somebody please, like get a chance here, please? And yeah, nothing. And Wolves gets a goal, and I'm sitting there like, no, they deserve it. Yeah, Newcastle just could not or would not do anything. It almost like the Man U game got in there and went, okay, guys, we're good for the rest of the year now. Like we got so much clout now, and they didn't go in, and it wasn't until like 70 minutes in, they all of a sudden got scored on, and then all of a sudden Eddie Howe was like, guys, go. This is a game, you know. And the minute they did that, they unloaded and went after Wolves hard, and they went strong and go. And they could have scored. They could have scored at that section. But this game should not have been at all like this. If Wolves would have scored one more goal, I don't think there just was not enough time. I would say, unless there's a strange goal, this is one of my top 3 goals of the year. St. Maximin had. It was a corner cross in a pressure situation. It went up in the air, bounced out of the zone, I believe up and to the right, just outside the box. Somebody like kind of chopped it in, header got kind of messy, and St. Maximin just had a ball that just kind of floated in the air, and he volleyed it perfectly top corner. One boom. It was so good. The problem with that is that it did injure him. So he was not able to play, or he is not able to play in the Liverpool game, and that's what happened. He actually injured, I believe it was his hamstring in that game, and I believe he'll be out. A lot of teams, a lot of players on the team are injured, are very, very injured, and I think Newcastle needs to maybe bring in, I don't know, maybe a striker, possibly from Sweden. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Like I said, I don't know. We'll have to see on that one.
We'll have to see.
But hey, you know what? That's my prediction for week 5. That they bring in some striker from I don't know, like I said, Sweden. Okay? And that's my prediction. I'm calling it out now. I know it's crazy to say, but I'm calling it now. No, just kidding. This video is made after week 5, so we all know what happens on that. But Newcastle, I will say, this is their worst play. This is their worst game. I will say that right now. And I don't know if they were looking ahead towards Liverpool, but they did not look at their opponents as anything but kind of like sideswipe. Okay, we'll get 3 points from them. We'll score 2. We'll play defense against the Wolves. Nunez came out there and was like, "No, I'm going to shoot on you guys, and I'm going to score. You guys better be ready." Pope played decent, so but good game overall. That's why.
I will say it's fortunate that they still got a point out of that game.
Definitely.
Despite kind of sleeping. And yes, we were talking about the transfer that Wolves had just brought in last week. So they have a Neves, and then they brought in a Nunez, and then the Nunez may yet feature, I believe, in the coming week. But he did not play in this. Oh no, he did. He started this game, but
yes, he did
not. It was Neves that scored.
He played
famous for one a year, just banger goals.
Yeah, he played okay. You could tell that, you know, he actually had a really, the new guy who just came in, he had a really good chance and missed it. There were also in this game, it doesn't show it, but Wolves had had actually scored a second goal late in the game. About, I would say, 80th minute. Yeah, 88th, 89th minute or something like that. I don't know if it shows a card on that second, but there was a VAR review. What happened was there was a throw-in. I believe it was a throw-in or a cross by Newcastle. And then the goalie had saved it, popped it out. One of the players had tried to just clear it, so they cleared it up and to the left. I believe it was Trippier was out there.
Right.
And he's going up for the ball, and all he wants to do is go up and kind of hit it out of the area, just get out of bounds, right? So he goes up, he goes to hit it, but gets like football shoved with his forearm in the back. You could see it. There was a full extension and everything, so you could clearly see that full extension happened. So it was a foul, but no refs called it. Ball bounces up, but not out of bounds. It goes all the way back. There's only one defender back with 3 strikers, or 3 Wolves players running. And they got a beautiful pass, and it was actually the Mexican striker scored a goal. Jimenez, thank you. He scored the goal, and he put his little pirate eye patch on, and everything, and everybody's like cheering, and yeah, it was actually 2-0 at the time, and I was like, oh my god, and I was like, no, dude, that's a clear. Even as a Newcastle fan, I looked at that and I was like, that's a foul. I would even say there was a couple calls even that I would even say like, come on guys, come on ref.
There was a penalty shout I heard, a little shirt tug in the box of
yes,
one of the Newcastle players being pulled on, and they did not call it.
It wasn't inside the box, it was just outside the box. But yes, it was actually, so this is what happened. They scored the goal. Newcastle scored in like the 89th minute or something. It says 90th. Then we push hard. We bring in another guy in, just for striking ability. That's all we did. Just bring guys for the striking ability and header. And one of the guys who are on the bench, who never plays ever, I think it was Henderson, his name, never plays, got in, and if he would have had better feet, or if it would have been St. Maximin, they pulled him back almost outside the box just in time. So they had a penalty shot, basically like a free kick, right outside the box, right dead middle. It was perfect, right dead middle. Last second of the game, last kick. You're like, okay, who's going to take this? You're going to think it's going to be Trippier, right? Nope. They put somebody else in. He slips, and the ball, whoop, wide left, ends the game. I was like, you got to be kidding me. You have Trippier.
And Trippier has scored those for England, too.
That's what happened. And he scored it with Newcastle. I'm like, oh my God. But like I said, yeah, it was, if the game would have been, 70 minutes long, it should have been Wolves. Wolves played amazingly, and more credit to them. Newcastle, you got lucky. You better step up this time, because you do not want to lose a game like that again. Just saying. Anyways, we'll move on to the Aston Villa West Ham game. What
were our predictions for this one?
I had shut up. I had it as West Ham 2, Aston Villa nothing. You had it as West Ham 2, Aston Villa. I think a 3. Okay, I think you said Aston Villa 3. Good. There you go. No, you had it as 2-1. West Ham with 2, Aston Villa's 1. The actual score was 1-0 in that game. Go ahead.
So I didn't see too much of this game, but from what I did see is it was a close contest. Both teams had a decent amount of chances. Ultimately, West Ham scored a very respectable match-winning goal, but in a one-goal game, anything can happen, and I think Steven Gerrard's side will be upset that they couldn't have scored one, because they did have a lot of the ball, and they did have a fair number of chances, and they could not take it. I remember in the prediction video, because West Ham was in quite poor form. I predicted they would get their first win, as did you, and they managed it. But I'm still not very inspired by West Ham, which we can talk a little bit more about for the coming week as well. For the squad that they have, I think they have the ability to play a lot better than they have been, and they just haven't been there yet. And credit to Villa for keeping them tight and pushing them. Um, yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, the game, only saw the highlights on this. The game was a pretty good game. Gerard, you could tell he's getting kind of mad at his team. Like, come on, guys, we're right there. Like we could win games if you guys try just another 10%. You got them. So one thing that maybe teams didn't know, or maybe teams are not looking at, or something. West Ham are, I believe, in a playoff for the Champions League. They're in the Champions League playoff right now, and there was a game that happened the same week this game happened. So I think Aston Villa had their chance. They should have pounced on them, because knowing you have a chance to go into the Champions League from a playoff game, and you have to win that game. And I believe they were tied at the time to go into it.
It was a Europa Conference League, so it's the third tier of European football.
Okay,
but still a European conference, like a European playoff game.
Yeah.
To qualify for the group stage.
Yep.
They were leading after this was the second leg. They were leading after the first leg, 3-1, and they comfortably beat a team that I am not familiar with, who plays in Denmark.
Denmark, yeah. I was gonna say Poland, but yeah.
But the fact that West Ham would have to rotate and would have to, not play their full squad at full fitness was an opportunity for Villa. Absolutely.
Yeah, they missed it on that. I think that was their time to miss. I know I keep messing up. I know I watch so much football. I watch some Champions League. I watch and I'm really into Rangers from Scotland. I love Rangers, and they did so well, and almost winning their league last year, winning the Europa League last year. And I'm like, holy crap! They actually made it, and they're going to be in the They're going to be in the playoffs. So I think I may have mixed those two teams together. But anyways, that was their chance. That was Aston Villa's chance, knowing that West Ham had that, and just giving that away. They played okay, but if they would have just 10 more percent on that. I mean, literally, when West Ham only has 2 shots on target, you guys, they don't have the possession, they don't have the shots, that they don't have the passing accuracy. You outpass them, right? I mean, guys, if you look at the stats, like, you guys should have won that game, or at least drew.
Obviously, they don't tell the whole story. Like, both teams will have had spells of possession, but with your team really getting more of the ball, which I will say, Villa does not get more of the ball than the other team against most of the other Premier League teams.
Yes.
Except for the few in the bottom third, let's say. It's a great opportunity that they could not even get a point out of. Which they'll be ruining near the end of the season, because they're currently sitting in a relegation spot, I believe.
Yes, and that was actually West Ham, which I think we both got too. It was West Ham's first goal of the season, and we both got that. We're like,
they had not scored all season.
All season, and you guys let that happen. I'm like, come on, guys, you guys need to step that up. But like I said, we digress. You guys got to be better. Gerard, you're a great coach. You took Rangers to finally beat the champions. A team that had not lost up in Scotland for the last 5 years, 6 years. The Celts.
We're talking about Celtic.
Yeah, Celtic. Excuse me, Celtic. They did not beat them. Like, nobody beat them. Nobody went in and beat them in the league. Like, maybe you beat a game, but you didn't beat them in the league. They always would go to the Champions League, and that was the first year. And it was the first year that Gerard did that, and he comes in. And so I know he can win. He just needs that mindset and put it in his players. But like I said, we'll see. And then finally we have Nottingham Forest versus Tottenham. I had the game was 3-0. You said it was going to be a lot closer. It was going to be 1-0. God dang, was I sweating after I saw you say 1-0, and I'm looking at this game going, no, don't do this to me. Do not do this to me. Do not do this to me, please. But the game did end luckily at a 2-0, and I will let you get your praise. I'll keep quiet and let the crowns be put onto your head. Go ahead.
So, interestingly enough, while the score was still 1-0, I think it was about 50th or 60th minute, Spurs were awarded a penalty, and Dean Henderson was given the opportunity to make a penalty stop in his second game in a row, I believe.
It was, yeah.
And if you remember, I had an inkling that he would stop another penalty this game, which he did. He stopped, I believe it was Kane on the spot.
Yes, and I gotta give you a point for that crap that you said. Like, I'm like, what the? Actually, I think I gave you 3 points for that crap. Because it was exactly on. Okay, we'll give you
calling
3.
a penalty save is tough. I believe it was the only penalty save of the week. We'll take it. Spurs played better, and they won. I was watching another game of Spurs, but it followed a lot of the same format, let's say, same mold of Spurs let the other team have the ball, they let them attack a bit, then their front three goes on the counter-attack, Son, Kane, and Kulusevski, and they score. And in this game it happened very quickly, 5 minutes in, less than 5 minutes. I will say, speaking of Son, the joint Golden Boot winner from last year with Salah also does not have a goal this year. It's
wow.
Maybe they're cursed. Maybe there's just off to a slow start, but it's looking like somebody else will win the Golden Boot this year, and he might play for Manchester City. There was some crazy stat that he scored like a ridiculous amount of goals in August already, which is like on his way to a record if he continues at this pace, let's say.
Yeah.
But yes, Kane scored twice though. He's always been in contention for the Golden Boot as well. Could have had a hat trick if he had only converted the penalty, but Spurs, yeah. I love Antonio Conte. I think I respect him a lot as a manager. He did great things for Chelsea, but he plays a very defensive style, and it was like this for Chelsea too. Go on the counter, catch the other team sleeping and score, and that seems to be Spurs' MO for the season.
Yep.
It seems to be working for now, and we'll see if that continues to hold up. They have not lost, I don't believe.
Nope, no losses.
They're unbeaten. They're one of 3 teams still unbeaten.
Yes.
4
teams. Brighton's still in there.
Correct.
As of this week, Brighton's still in there.
I had to double check that.
Actually 5 teams. 5 teams. Newcastle's one of them.
Oh, true. Yep, you're right.
Even though they only draw games, but they still aren't beaten yet. So,
right.
And but
your thoughts?
Good game. I will still say that was Kane's. I believe it was first goal. So smooth. It almost like he had the ball attached to his. Have you ever seen those like balloons, those big balloons that had that rubber band on it, and you could just like throw it forward and bounce it off your hand and throw it, and you just keep like punching it. It goes bang, 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 bang. That's how smooth his kicks are. It's almost like he barely touches it, and this rubber band goes whoop, like it just, and he just lets go of the ball, or lets go of the rubber band, and shoots right into a spot perfectly. I don't know what type of inertia comes off his foot, but he's got this steel toe or something, and he just goes pick, and it goes, and he barely touches it, and just smooth. It's so smooth. But yeah, he has one of the smoothest kicks, one of the smoothest goals this week. So I congratulations, good job on him. Yeah, it was a good game. Honestly, it's what I expected. I had 3-0, unfortunately. You had 1-0. None of us got 2-0. It's like, what the heck? They're just
Only one correct score prediction out of all
Yeah.
the matches this week.
Yep, and I had to give you 3 extra points for the Henderson bull crap. Anyways, so our grand total, I believe, is going to be you're up 22-13 now. Holy
Wow.
crap! I know I gotta come back. I will make my comeback. I will win. Don't you
You're gonna
worry.
have to start predicting some differently than me if you want to come back.
So I will. I will make sure you choose it. But until next time, guys. Thank you guys so very much for that. I do appreciate. Thank you, Matt. We'll move on to week 5. We'll see what happens. Unfortunately, no prediction video because let me tell you, I almost can guarantee it'll be 100% if you did that. But anyways, thank you guys so very much. We'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.